Han's eyes widened with horror. Chewie thrust the toddler into Han's arms, and then the Wookiee turned about and half ran, half rode the wind to catch up with the fallen Anakin. Han handed off the toddler and rushed back for the cockpit, knowing the two could never get back to the ship against this mounting storm. He brought the Falcon in fast but steady, moving to the spot even as Chewie lifted Anakin in his arms. Han locked her in place and rushed back to the landing ramp, but the Falcon couldn't hold position now, and she drifted up and to the side, her engines roaring in protest. "Chewie!" he cried, hanging right off the ramp now. Several others crowded about him, holding him in place by the legs. He reached desperately for the Wookiee, but the Falcon was up too high. Chewbacca gave his friend a resigned, contented look, then threw Anakin up into Han's waiting arms. The ground rolled and bucked, and suddenly Chewie was far, far away. Han cradled Anakin to the floor just inside, and the boy was conscious again, struggling to his feet as his father rushed back to the cockpit. Anakin came up beside him, falling into Chewie's chair. "Where is he?" Han cried. Anakin took a deep, steadying breath. He knew Chewie so well. Surely he could find his friend with the Force. "To the left!" he cried. "Take it!" Han told him, and he ran back to the landing ramp. "Get me to him!" Anakin worked furiously over the controls, the ship vibrating so violently that he thought it might just shake apart. "Oh no," he breathed, for there stood Chewie, his back to the Falcon, and in front of the Wookiee, a fiery torpedo was streaking down. Chewie turned about and took one step toward Han and the Falcon. Tremendous hot wind blasted through, tossing him to the ground, toppling buildings. One pile of rubble crashed atop the Falcon, sending the nose of the ship up. Anakin fought her back to level, started to turn her about to find the Wookiee, but saw, instead, in all her devastating glory, the last descent of Dobito. They were out of time. Anakin knew it immediately. If he turned for Chewie, if he did anything other than take her straight up and out, the explosion of the crashing moon would tear the Falcon apart. He heard his father's pleading cry to get him back to Chewie. Anakin pointed the Millennium Falcon skyward and punched the throttle. Han saw. A battered and bloody Chewie regained his footing, stood up high on one pile of rubble, and faced the descending moon with arms upraised and a defiant roar. The scene receded quickly, but Han kept his eyes locked on the spot, burning that image of the very last moments of his friend's life indelibly into his consciousness. And then he saw the beginning of the final cataclysm as Dobito plowed into the city. The landing ramp rose suddenly, locking into place. Han knew it to be the doings of his son. And then the Falcon went spinning away as the shockwave hit her. Han didn't even consider the danger to him and the others, not even to his son at that critical moment. He just thought of Chewie, of that last tragic image, the Wookiee shaking his fist at the great, unbeatable enemy. A fitting last pose of defiance, but one that did nothing to mend the tear ripping through Han's heart.